up? I'm Shadana, and welcome to episode 2 of So today the topic is teaching in New York City. Y'all know NYC is one of the toughest places to live, to survive, and also to be a teacher. So today I'm going to have a special guest sit down with me, and we're going to talk everything teaching in New York City as well as pivoting into entrepreneurship. All right, so welcome to episode 2 of The Breakdown, and I have my special guest with me. How you feeling?
Yo, I'm feeling really great.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
All right. Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed York. I'm a poet, activist, dancer, singer-songwriter, you name it, a jack of all trades. My real big passion is education. You can find me at More of Mr. York, spelled just the way it sounds, M-O-R-E-O-F, Mr. M-R-Y-O-R-K York. You can find More of Mr. York on that social.
Okay, Mohammed, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really good.
All right, I'm happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, thanks for joining us for episode 2. This is a big deal. All right, so how did you get started in education, and what is your current position?
I got started in education through high school. I was in the performing arts, and so this dance company scouted me. And then I started working for the dance company early on in high school. And then while I was taking class there, I also taught class. So that's when I first started about 10 years ago.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah. Current position?
Current position, I am the physical educator at our charter school.
Yep.
PE teacher and dance teacher.
Yes, so this is my coworker in real life, and we get along great. We have such a relationship, so why not have him on The Breakdown?
Easy.
Right, he's very educated and very knowledgeable about what we're discussing today. All right, let's move on. Thoughts. So when I say thoughts, I'm going to start the sentence off, and you're just going to finish it. You're going to say whatever comes to your mind, like a free will type of thing. Okay, so thoughts. Having a career in New York City.
You need to be passionate about it. I just feel like if you're gonna be working in this city, if your heart's not in it, it's not gonna work. There's so many obstacles set up against you, and if you don't have it in you, then you're not gonna make it.
Okay, so with New York City, we have so many opportunities. So many people dream of moving here. So many people do move here. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like it is more of a competition, or do you feel like we have so many resources and opportunity that it's room for everybody to do their thing?
I would say with our economy and what's going on right now, and even back then, it's always been competitive. No matter what field it is, especially right now, it's always competitive. Mm-hmm. I do think that there is a lot of opportunity, but it's hard for us to find opportunity. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of us don't have the resources to know where to find it or the networking to get there.
Yeah, I think them doors is very selective, but we're going to get through them one way or another.
Exactly.
All right, so how does teaching teach/help you in your personal life?
For me, I battle with depression, and so I feel that just in general, I feel like the work that I'm doing teaching, it inspires me to be better. It redefines my purpose in life, and I feel like my kids give me purpose.
Okay. Yeah, that's somewhat how I be feeling, you know, how we talked about, you know, teaching, but also going after our own goals. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I find the inspiration that I pour out into the children, and sometimes even in families, it's the same thing I have to tell myself sometimes, or it's the same thing that I basically apply to my own life. Do you find yourself giving advice or giving tips or just pouring out to the kids the same thing that you may pour into your own self behind the scenes?
100%. I feel like I would be hypocritical if I did it. You know what I mean? When I'm telling kids that it's important to have your head held high. You know, it's important to speak up for yourself. I would be a fool not to follow that advice.
Posture.
Yeah. Posture check.
Right. Imagine us on here like this,
Slow.
I feel like only will get that. Okay, so here's another thoughts question. Mm-hmm. Being a New York City teacher
it's phenomenal. I say it's phenomenal because I feel like the things that we do and go through, I feel like sometimes it'd be miracle work.
No, for real.
I feel like if we could the days that we have our regular day, any other teacher would be quitting. Not gonna hold you. I feel like what we have to go through and endure throughout the entire day, the entire week, the entire trimester, I just feel like we are a lot is placed on us.
Yes.
With little support from leadership, little support from families. It really be on us to just raise people's kids. And to be honest, we're here to teach your kids, not just raise them.
Right, and I'll piggyback off of that as a mother, coming from the perspective of a mother having 2 sons. Like, I am very aware of that, and I feel like teaching has basically taught me to actually be more aware of being a mother as well. Because certain things that we face, for example, the whole being a New York City teacher is to me challenging. You know, it's challenging and it's purposeful. So when I go through certain days or I interact with certain students, like, it reminds me to go check up on my 5th grader to make sure my 5th grader is not being disrespectful. Or my 5th grader is, you know, just he knows what's going on. He's aware that if he is getting some challenges, that he is not afraid to ask for help, or he's not embarrassed. So, yeah. So how are you feeling so far through this segment?
Through this segment, I'm feeling good. Taking my time. I really enjoyed the questions.
Yeah. See, I don't feel like it's enough, and maybe it is, but positivity based around New York City teachers when you go on YouTube. Because I'm a YouTube head, so I watch different people platforms, and I watch, you know, different topics and stuff. And I feel like when you type in like being a teacher or maybe New York City teacher, it's like testimonies of like I quit or how I quit or when I quit. Like, it's a lot of, you know, quitting and some negativity based around it. But, you know, that's people's experience, that's people's journey. But I just kind of want to bring some light to the situation of teaching and being a New York City educator, being that we really are. So I'm like, why not bring some light, but still realness that surrounds it.
I would say, well, to add on that, I think that's happening nationwide. Like, there's a teacher shortage.
Yeah. And
it's because of the behaviors. It's because of the lack of families involved. So, I mean, New York is tough. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it's happened everywhere. I feel like it's happened twice as hard here.
Yes. Remember, it was one teacher that came to our school.
He was there for he was there for one day.
He ain't come back.
The principal, we were in PD, and the principal, she was like, well, we hired someone, but he left. He didn't come back the next day.
His loss.
His loss. Maybe his win, I don't know.
No, for real. Alright, so we're gonna move on.
I was in that PD laughing as fuck. I thought it was hilarious.
Girl. How has teaching shaped the foundation of your business / goals?
Teaching for me has made me more organized in regards to like work and who I get involved with in regards to conflict resolution. I feel like a lot of adults don't know how to have disagreements. Or also like fighting for my own businesses. I feel like once you get through like the child mindset, I don't accept anything less from adults. Like, I have zero patience with adults.
Yes. I definitely think teaching has a big effect on us when it comes to our own goals and career. Because like you said, being organized. Like, as a teacher, we have to be organized. You know, we have students, we have different classes, they have different, you know, rosters, and it's a lot. So you basically definitely have to have organizational skills. For me, I think that I go back and forth with it. Like, you know, I love it, then I'm challenged, you know, then I love it again, and then I'm challenged, and I'm like, you know, I'm doing something purposeful, and I'm like, you know what, I'm actually being also a mother figure to certain students, because, you know, these kids go home and they face, you know, different obstacles. So for me, teaching has shaped my goals where, you know, I do want to help. I want to help, I want to assist, even though I'm doing me, and some of my goals are self-centered, but some of them are based around other people and me wanting to actually help my family and friends and, you know, loved ones, not only myself and my children. You know, you don't get points for taking care of your kids. You don't get points for being a mother. You have them. You get points for helping other people. I was telling my director today, I was in a nail salon, and this boy came in, long story short, and he paid for his girlfriend nails and toes, and I thought that was really cute. He paid for both of their stuff. He wanted to surprise her. So when I was leaving the salon, I went up to her and I gave her a 20, and I was like, enjoy your birthday. And she was like so caught off guard, and you know, but just like, oh, thank you. You know, she was a young girl, like in her 20s or something. And it's just little stuff like that where I just want to help. I want to assist. You know, I'm a girl's girl, so I want to do that on a bigger scale, my family, my loved ones. But I also want to be able to give back, period. I think that answers the question. I don't know. I think I got a little off task, but whatever.
No, you're fun. I also think it's admirable. You practice everyday acts of kindness.
Yes.
And I feel like being a teacher, you gotta do that anyway.
Future plans and teaching.
Future plans and teaching. For me, I definitely want to open my own like performing arts studio.
I can see that. I can see that 100%. No, I'm dead serious.
Thank you. I just feel like I know what they should look like, what they should be. I feel like I go into any studio or any school and be like, oh, I can run this better, or end up running it anyways and not getting paid for it. But yeah, I definitely want to bring back the performing arts. I feel like within the last 8 years in our country, there's been a depletion of the arts. And I just feel like that's how we get our best celebrities, our best artists. Students that grew up in the church maybe or not, or students that had extracurriculars outside of school. Those are the best people. And the funding has been cut. I know that I've been applying for grants for costumes and stuff for our kids. Our school theater, they barely have lights that work. Like every time I go in there, it's a headache. So.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a play yet, so, but I know that y'all putting, I know that y'all putting on something soon.
Yeah.
So that's dope. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But trying to get grants, you saying, is a hassle?
Just in general, I feel like funding for the arts, like, yes, there's grants and there's opportunities to make money, but I feel like it's a competitive thing. Every other dance teacher is looking to pay for the next thing. You know, and our school, we low-key broke, so I feel like...
Are we? I don't think so. I just think they choose to where they want to put their money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we broke in the specials.
Okay, you went on more than me. So for me, I feel like future plans in teaching, I don't know. I'm trying to, you know, I'm going to make it through the year. You know, I'm definitely going to make it through the year. I personally started in our current school in January, where I had my 7th graders, and I was like, you know what, my goal is to see my 7th graders graduate. So now my 7th graders are 8th graders, and they graduate in June. Yeah. So that was my goal when I came in, so I really plan on reaching that goal. As far as future plans and teaching, I think that I will always be a teacher in some type of way, shape, or form, because it's just in me. But I don't know how long I'm going to teach in the classroom. If God, you know, if it's His purpose for me to be in our specific school the following year, 2025, or in a classroom period, then I will be there because I want God to use me as much as possible. But personally speaking, I just plan on branching out and kind of like more focusing on my own thing. But, you know, I want whatever God wants. So God, you know, whatever He wants is what I want. So I won't be mad at if I was at my job for 5 more years. You know, I got lovely coworkers. I found my people, so that makes the job. I told you that from the beginning. That makes the job even better. Just finding your people. That makes me want to stay.
You know what? No, but I hear you. I only got 1 year left at our charter school. That's it. And if I do continue to like teach before I work on my studio, it's only going to be college students. I teach at Marymount University now as a TA.
Yeah.
So it's
what's the TA for those that don't know?
Teaching assistant. So like when you go to college and stuff, like your professor will have a TA, and they'll like teach you things or you know grade your papers and stuff like that. But in the performing arts world, like if you're like doing a dance degree, you have that TA basically run rehearsals and teach you material.
This is strong.
You think it's strong?
I do.
But I guess I am like. I'm a big body.
You're a big dog?
Yeah. You a big dog too? Brooklyn in the house?
I'm feeling a little woo. Alright, so that was future plans and teaching. Okay.
But I want to add, college kids actually they're at the level of talent that you want them to be at. And I feel like I'm in space, even now, with entrepreneurship, I do artist development on the side. I'm teaching artists how to do stage presence and how to really show themselves on stage and choreography. And I feel like when you're at the age of if you're in your late teens, early 20s, you're really defining who you are as an artist, and that's really beautiful to watch. That's what I want to focus on.
That's dope. We have a teacher at our school that's a professor. I talk to him from time to time. He's really cool.
Which one?
He in 5th or 6th grade with the dreads.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, he's a professor. So that it's interesting. Sometimes we chop it up, and I'll be asking him the comparison of being a professor and being an elementary school teacher. And we just be talking. So being that you brung up college kids versus teaching the elementary, it's definitely
difference.
It's a difference for sure, All right, so thoughts.
Okay, what's up?
I will succeed as an entrepreneur because.
I will succeed as an entrepreneur because I'm dedicated to growing. I'm dedicated to living the life that I was made to live.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm always dedicated to being a better person and also giving back to my community. I grew up in a low funded charter school, just like the one that we have now that we teach at. And so what? You don't cry. You're so silly.
I'm not crying. You silly.
No, but I'm being dead ass. This is and to be honest with you, when I was started off teaching, it was just teaching at studios and then little public schools, because I used to work in companies, dance companies, and we would do outreach programs. So we'd be there for a semester at public schools. And it was cool and all, but I was I'm not gonna be no teacher. I'm really not. But then this job came across, and the job market was bad, and I was like, why not just have that job be my main job?
Yes.
Instead of my side hustle job. And ever since then, I've been getting, the universe has led me to so much more teaching opportunities. I'll be at a dancing lit event. I'll teach people are just following me for a TikTok dance, and they're like, oh wait, let me hire you to teach at our events.
Networking.
Literally. So I just feel I know that this is a part of my purpose.
Yes.
And also as the entrepreneur aspect is I'm also I'm a really talented performer.
You are.
And so I think so it's I also want to how God gives you gifts.
Yes.
And if you don't use those gifts, He'll take them away. Well, not even take them away. It's just in general. If you stop singing how you are, you won't even sound the same.
No, for real. And I do think that, and I always say this, as an artist, there's different artists, teachers, dancers, actors, whatever, artists, drawing, painters. As an artist, the art stay in you. Even me, being an actress and, my life with acting. But it's the art, I'm still an artist. It stays in me. So I have to do what we're doing, my own thing. Yeah. I have to let the art out, because it's it stays in you and it don't go nowhere. It's you're gonna have that urge, that crave for whatever artistry you're into. It stays in you. It does not leave you. And I always say that. And I think that is so true. So yeah, for you to be able to mix your teaching with your artistry is amazing, because everybody can't do that. Everybody cannot do that. Some people starve their dreams to feed their families. And the goal is to feed your family by living your dream.
While feeding your soul.
Feeding your soul, you have to. Heard. Thoughts?
Okay.
All right. I will succeed as an entrepreneur because...
I will succeed as an entrepreneur because I feel like I'm made for this. I feel like every obstacle I face, every dark moment was made so I can live.
Yes.
And am I taking advantage of the opportunities that are around me? Am I really living? you know? And so like, also opportunities that are selected to me that are hard to find, you know? And if I don't access them, I'm not being the better person. I'm not being the Muhammad that I can be.
Absolutely.
And so like, I think it's unfortunate that I wish a lot of people have this mindset where they are wanting to be better people, wanting to get more, and not settling for less. Because some people can like live their life as a teacher and be like, I'm okay with this school, even though I have some hard times with it. They pay okay. The kids aren't that bad, so I'm gonna just stay here. And me, it's like, no, like, how can I get an award here? Like, how can I make a name for myself here?
Period.
How can I leave an imprint on here? How can I elevate from here?
Yes.
And so I think that's why I'm going to be successful as an entrepreneur, because one, this is how a little confident, but I'm talented. Like, I'm more than just one thing. And I feel like I have that as a benefit. And also, like, I'm a chameleon with communities. Like, I can reach out to any and everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very personable. Also, I like to be personable. Like, I like people. I like to meet and understand them. And I think these are all things that are good for me, that I've been blessed with. Blessings, gifts that have been bestowed upon me to be able to reach other people. And that's why I'm a teacher. You know what I mean? Another thing, God was like, boom, you're a teacher too.
Yeah.
Because you can reach some of that. You can reach all these adults, you can reach all these kids.
Yeah.
And make better humans.
Yeah.
We live in a world where it's so dark.
Yes.
So it's like, us as teachers, we have to be the light.
Middle school is so impactful. Like, middle school was, I believe, my favorite grade. Like, my favorite time, or at least one of my favorite times. So I know when I told my students from when I was teaching previous year and this year, like, some of the things that I say, you're gonna remember.
For the rest of your life.
You might be a little aggravated or annoyed, et cetera, but some you gonna be like, dang, my 7th or maybe my 8th grade, you know, I probably won't remember the exact grade, but she told me that. Like, you gonna remember. Okay, so I will succeed as an entrepreneur because I feel like as an artist, I can only starve my artistry for too long. I can only starve the artist in me for too long. I always gotta come back to it, which is why the breakdown exists, you know, which is why I'm having guests come up here to share their dreams, their passions, because these are the people that I know personally that are also going after their dreams outside of their 9 to 5. Even my director behind the scene, he's going after his dreams outside of, you know, what he got going on to, you know, make a steady income. So it's like, I can only starve the artistry for so long, and I know that others around me or others that I affiliate myself with, such as Muhammad, is the same way. And as long as you affiliate yourself with dope-ass people, you'll be a dope-ass person. And then you're gonna, what 50 Cent said, get rich without trying. Right? I mean, you know, we want to dream and, you know, we want to be purposeful, but, you know, we want some money too, so we're going to get rich without trying. What role does spirituality play in teaching as well as your business?
Okay.
Go as deep or as not deep as you want to go.
Okay, well, no worries. For start off, identify as a spiritual Baptist Christian. And that means for me that I had a very big Baptist Christian upbringing. And also at the time as well that my parents are very pro-black, and they knew that a lot of like Christianity was very like black churches had like white Jesus, and my parents were like, what the fuck is that? And so it was set up in a lot of like pagan like ideologies. And like, you know, the Bible, the history behind it a little bit is that like it was used to force black people to be, you know, slaves, stripping away our culture from one another. And so for me, I identify as Baptist, spiritual Baptist Christian because one, I love church. Still go to church, still love it, still believe in the word, still believe in the God that loves all people. And I feel that like, for me, in regards to like teaching and rituals are like things you do in your routines. Like for example, if you wake up every morning and you listen to music while you get ready, that's considered a ritual. And so like one of my rituals is like I'll wake up and pray and be thankful for the day. One thing for me, like because I battle with depression, I count my blessings every morning. Like, what am I thankful for? And so I feel like, I don't know, it makes me a more positive person. It makes me more optimistic to be spiritual and Christian.
And I have to say, me knowing you could form a relationship, because we knew each other when I first started, but we got close during the summer.
Mm.
We got close during the summer, we started forming a relationship during the summer. I would never know that this man battled with depression. Like, I would never know that he battles with depression. That's how good God is.
Mm.
You know, we all go through something behind the scenes. And I will never know that. What role does spirituality play in teaching for me is that I'm like, God, this is my purpose. Because sometimes I be ready to walk out. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes I be like, no, I can't do this.
You saw me. She saw me walk out. I was like, I need to say it.
No, for real. Like, I be like, God, I can't do this. Like, I be needing a mental break. Like, how we give our kids mental breaks to, you know, go walk it off or go put some water on your face. I be needing a mental break. I be needing sometimes to talk to my coworkers and release something. So I know for a fact that for me, like I said earlier, teaching is purposeful. So I know this is a part of my purpose right now. This is what I'm supposed to be doing right now in my life. I came from Atlanta in December. I love Atlanta. Like, I love Atlanta. But long story short, I got my job in December, and I got this condo in December. Mm-hmm. So that was God giving me this expensive-ass condo with a good job, salary to actually afford to live here. So I'm...
A pathway.
Right. So I know that this was from God. So I know that teaching is purposeful. So that's the role that spirituality plays in teaching. And as far as business, it's different things, but I'll just keep it short where my grandmother passed away on my mother's side. Both my grandmothers died, but my grandma on my mother's side always used to be like, "You gonna make it, Shadonna. You gonna make it." Like, I was on Law and Order. I was on a couple of things, and like even like the littlest stuff, my grandparents, Lisa and Stanley was like always told me that like, "You're gonna make it, Shadonna. You're gonna make it." So I always like, well, she called me Magic. My grandmother called me Magic.
And you are.
So I always kept that in me. Even when I stopped acting or when I took a hiatus when my father got killed, everything, it was just like that always replayed in me like, oh, you're going to make it, you're going to make it. So yeah, spirituality is just very big in both our lives, as it should be.
It's like a compass.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, one thing I feel like a lot of people don't have is integrity. Or I feel like a lot of people don't have integrity.
No, for real.
And I'm not even gonna hold you. I blame that on them. Not all, but majority statistically are people who tend to not have like a faith background. And they don't know what it means to like have community, or why it's important, or why all skin folk is kin folk. Cause I feel like, you know, one thing I learned here living in New York was that like, which broke my heart a little bit, is that like people would scam on their own people. You know what I mean? I was like, where I grew up, it was like, no, like you scam on white people, you don't scam on the black people.
I didn't have my director agree with you because that's how we like, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean, like integrity. And I feel like people who have a spiritual mindset, whether religious or non, they believe in something or have something guiding their hearts and their minds.
Something.
They tend to be people that you can really trust. People who tend to be naturally authentic. And so those are my people.
Yeah, because if you stand for nothing, you fall for
everything. You fall for nothing.
You fall for anything, y'all.
No, but I think poetically,
yeah,
you
that's
fall for
true.
nothing.
You fall for bits and pieces, baby.
You know, that was just nothing. You fell for that.
No, for real. Okay, so are you ready to wrap it up?
I'm ready to wrap it up.
Okay.
Like a bad tuna.
Are you happy?
I will say, in my career, I can say that I'm genuinely happy.
Okay.
Like, even though there's stuff that we have to face, As someone who has their hands in multiple pots like you, like I can say that I'm happy. I would say I'm happy in my career. Like I'm dancing for 2 dance companies. I'm teaching at our school, teaching dance and physical education.
You're doing shows.
I'm doing shows. I'm still doing modeling part-time. It's crazy because like I'll be like, dang, like I had vision this when I was younger. Like I had vision that I was in New York pursuing dreams. You know what I mean? Like I had vision this as like just like play. Like, oh, I can live in New York. And then it's like, no, nigga, like you're actually like doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like you had prophesized this early on. My name is Muhammad, the prophet. So
hello.
Like, I feel like, yeah, like it feels surreal sometimes. Like I be looking around and like, dang, like I'm really here. Counting my blessings.
Every day.
Because I knew that like, there was multiple times in my life when I didn't want to be on this earth. And I'm like, wow. Like not only am I doing what I want to do, but I'm making a difference in other people's lives.
And your blessings is gonna triple just from that alone. Alone. Mm-hmm. Kanye said, do you know why the song was called Niggas in Paris? Because niggas was in Paris. Like you're here.
Exactly. Take it in.
Period. So to sum it up, I am happy with my growth. I am happy with, God blessing me with what I asked for. I'm in an era right now where, and I said this earlier in the call, where I'm really intentionally trying to be a better mother. I won't really get deep into it because some things you say out loud, some things you just pursue. But I'm in an era where I'm really trying to be a better mother, and I'm happy with the growth that I see in myself over the past few months of really being a better mother. I'm raising Black and brown boys. I have 2 sons, as you guys know, if you follow me, and so that's not likely. Like that's a big deal. You know what you face as a brown and Black man. My director knows what he faces as a Black and brown man. So it's like I'm just really trying to be a better mother. Like I'm trying to be there. Even though we might be in the same space, outside of teaching, I have other things going on. So I'm in my phone, or I'm writing, or I'm like sending emails, and it's like, no, I have to remind myself, like, no, you have to be there with them, for them. So I'm happy with my growth. I'm happy with my growth with God, but I'm trying to get closer with that too. It's like I'm still sinning. Yeah. I'm still sinning. So I'm happy with the growth, but I know I could be better. I'm happy with my blessings that God has brought upon me. For what He has let happen and what He has let not happen. The biggest blessings I feel like is some of the things that He blocks. We be wanting that significant other so bad. It's like God is like, no, that's not for you. That person is not for you. Yeah. We be wanting to move or go other places or be in certain rooms, and God is like, no, that's not for you. That energy is bad.
No, for real.
We missed the boat.
Yeah.
We missed the boat, and I was on my vlog. I was saying like, damn, me and my cousin, when we got to the boat, I had planned the boat trip for a couple of my coworkers, and me and my cousin got there, and the boat was leaving, and my cousin was like, damn, we wasn't supposed to be on again. So it's like I'm just grateful, and I'm happy with God's protection, God's grace, and His coverings over myself and my family, my loved ones, my friends. I know I could do better, but I'm happy with everything that has just grown, over my life from 0 to now. Thank you for tuning in to the Breakdown episode 2. Thank you to Mahani for coming on. I am so happy you came on and blessed us with your presence, with your knowledge, with your gems, and just with your positivity, your energy. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This has been a fun time, and also I fuck with you down, Shadana. Like, you really dope as fuck. Not only because we both Aries, but because you smart. And like, you speak up when we be in meetings. Like, just like me, we both be speaking up. We be like, well, for me, I don't know.
As for me.
when we always speaking for everyone.
No, for real. That's what they be really wanting to say, but we just say it. Hopefully, we don't get fired.
Yeah. Hopefully, we don't. I think that's why they need us.
No, for real.
Because we don't take no shit.
Right. And that's the breakdown episode 2. Mwah.